So those not familiar, basically what this deck does is it looks to get Lich's Mastery into play, and then with Mirari Conjecture and Chance for Glory and Nature Spiral out of the sideboard, you could generate infinite turns to eventually pick a Banefire out of your sideboard with Mastermind's Acquisition and double Fireball your opponent for lethal. Aliandrazi won an SCG Classic, which usually somewhere between 7 and 9 round Swiss tournaments with this archetype very early in the format. That being said, when he won the tournament, it was still early in the format when like green-black was the boogeyman, and I feel like the format's diversified a bit since then, and I feel like the format diversifying has been a hindrance to this archetype as opposed to helping it. Because, what was I gonna say? The green-black matchup for this archetype is really good, whereas decks like more aggressive things and Jeskai control tend to make this deck struggle a little bit. You can always count on an Ollie deck to be able to beat whatever the perceived best deck in the format is, while simultaneously losing in a not close manner to whatever the aggressive deck in the format is. That's my experience playing a lot of his stuff, at least. He's really good at locking into beating whatever's good, but often doesn't give quite enough respect to the aggressive decks that tend to exist in the formats. Looks like tokens. These Cleansing Novas are going to be very good. Yeah, we haven't played the Chromatic Black deck yet. That one's in the queue coming up at some point. I'm finding recently that decks that centralize the Boros Kogo struggle the most against blue-black decks because of discard and black having answers to. Sure, yeah, black definitely has the tools to beat up the red-white aggressive decks for sure. So we've got a couple of Revitalizes to... I have my 5th land guaranteed, so like, I'm definitely playing the first Revitalize here, but I might try and hold the second for post-Lich's Mastery, because Revitalize with Lich's Mastery in play draws 4. Music's M-Life, thank you for the brand new Prime support, I appreciate that. Interesting build. Gift of Paradise is a sweet draw. Get our ramp on. Oh, you know what? I should have played the basic planes here and attached the Gift of Paradise to a basic. It probably doesn't matter. I've got a good spread of colors here, but it's technically correct to slide that onto a basic here. That's true. They could be a Field of Ruin deck. I don't know. The tokens decks usually run, they usually run the land that draws cards. Was that deck successful? So one of the nicest things about my content is you can watch all of the replays on my YouTube channel. So if you go to youtube.com/Jeff Hoagland or go to jeffhoagland.com and click on Standard, you can find all of the matches that we've played with decks archived there. If you don't have time to watch the entire video be playing something, usually they're only about 60 minutes to 60 to 90 minutes though. There's always a wrap-up segment at the end of those videos where you can cut to the end to find and hear my thoughts on after we played a deck. Mage Cub, thank you for the 4-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. So we cleaned their board out here, but I don't know that we actually really accomplished a whole lot. I think I'm just getting Lich's Mastery here. Thank you for the 4 months, Mage Cub. I support the YouTube life. What's going on? Yeah, that's true too. Double speed YouTube is great. So this is probably going to be a end of their turn, play Chance for Glory, untap, play Lich's Mastery, start our next turn, go Gift of Paradise, Revitalize. Shouldn't I gift there first? No, chat. So people asking why I didn't gift. This draws 3 cards post Lich's Mastery. I can already cast Lich's Mastery with the lands I have in play. There isn't a big reason to play this. beforehand, right? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 already. So at least I don't think there's a compelling reason to gift there, because like I am gonna get to draw 3 cards just in a hot second. Put the fear of Settle the Wreckage in him too here. Not to do this thing that's annoying, but do this thing that's incredibly annoying. It's just like, come on, come on. Wait for their song. Oh, maybe wait for what? Why would I wait for what in what manner? All right, so end of their turn, we cast Chance for Glory. And normally, this isn't a play that would be good, but because Lich's Mastery says we can't lose the game, it's a play that's fine. So I get to do this, and we've got an extra turn in the bank here. I'll cast Revitalize and draw 4. So this picks up instant, so I can go ahead and conjecture here and pick my extra turns back up out of my bin. I cannot gift into Chance for Glory, so let's just Chance for Glory. Conjecture is not guaranteed, GG. It's close-ish, but not guaranteed. So I get to return a... So I don't have another Chance for Glory in my deck. This is just Cleansing Nova, right? I guess it's mostly GG because, like, Cleansing Nova comes back. The auto-tapper always wants to use the Gift of Paradise first, which is annoying. I don't think I have 12 mana. It's 12 mana to Mastermind Conjecture. Blow up their songs, right? Alright, goodbye, friends. And we just get to go ahead and pass here. So next turn, I'm gonna have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Next turn, I'll have 12 mana. So next turn, we will likely put them out of their misery. So even this, this Revitalize here draws 4, and even if this doesn't find a Conjecture, next turn we'll be able to go. We found a Conjecture. All right, so this is gonna double up here. So now. Conjecture, we have the mana. We can just do this now. We had the mana no, I didn't have Mastermind in my hand, did I? Whatever. We're fine. We're gonna draw a lot of cards. Do this. All right, and this is doubled now because the other Conjecture is the Thingamahoozits. All right, so then I get to, there's 27 cards in my deck. Do this twice, so we draw 8 cards. Love taking all the turns and drawing all the cards. Going on Deadpool. Thanks for the support. Oh, I forgot how bad discarding is on this interface. All right. Look at all that. Look at all those hit points gained effectively. All right, Mastermind's acquisition. All right, Conjecture. I think we already have an extra turn. I'm pretty sure we have an extra turn on the stack, but we can just just take another one just in case. Any of these like mid-range aggro decks are like your pretty good matchups because like your sweepers really punish them. They just can't get under you. So I could technically take infinite turns here and like build up my lands in play, but like this Banefire is already lethal. Let's just like do X's 10 here, which I believe I have mana for. Just send it upstairs here. So when you copy spells with an X in them, you copy them with the X. And playing this deck on my phone sounds like a really good time. I think this deck struggles in a number of matchups, but gosh, when it's good, it's great. It just does terrible things to nice people. If you copy a kick spell, is it also kicked? Yeah, maybe? I don't actually know. Ask a judge. Yeah, okay, Artifact also sounds terrible on mobile, to be fair. I think the... If you take infinite turns, don't you draw infinite cards? Sure. You don't technically take infinite turns. You can't actually declare infinite in Magic the Gathering. You can declare a loop and then keep taking turns and drawing cards, and then eventually you draw enough lands and you like go get your Banefire and you kill them. So like when someone says they're gaining infinite health in Magic, that's actually not legal. They have to pick a number. So this hand just like needs a third land to be really good, and we have Revitalize in 2 lands that can cast it, so we'll keep here. Kicker does not increase the converted mana cost of a spell, which is one of those weird things. It functions different from X. So an X is included in the converted mana cost of a spell, whereas Kicker is not. Cleansing Nova is a phenomenal pickup here. Things are a little sketchy for our hero. We got 2 more shots to find a third land here. Ding. That's pretty sweet here. So if we hit a 4th land in the next 2 draws, we'll get to Cleansing Nova on 3, which is pretty good. Or on 4, sorry, this is 3. And if I miss the land next turn, I can still Settle the Wreckage or potentially Discovery into mana for Cleansing Nova. Honestly, not Novaing next turn is like kind of okay for us because it probably encourages them to play out Discordant. Yeah, that was the best when your Splinter to put it with combo and you'd be like, how many Deceiver Exarchs are you making? And like all of a sudden like the jig was up and they like had to go into the tank. I don't want to take a hit next turn. We drew the land. Let's just hit it. Boop. Boop 'em. Boop 'em right on the nose. What do you think about Runaway Red in Modern? Not been impressed with it. Just not consistently fast enough or interactive enough compared to the other decks that put up results with some consistency. Nullhide Ferox. That's an interesting one. It's a pretty big boy. I think I'm just passing here. I think I'm gonna go ahead and just like turn this off plus contempt it. What decks beat this deck? Tempo decks beat this deck, and control decks tend to beat this deck. Counter spells tend to beat this deck. Italian Gaming, thank you very much for the support. I appreciate that. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch. Thanks for supporting mine this month. I actually need another black source, right? I need a third black for this. Awesome. Well, thanks for the support. I appreciate it, folks. Folks like you and subscriptions like that are the reason that I'm able to do what I do as often as I do it. All right, so I only have 8 mana, unfortunately, which means I can't Mastermind Acquisition and Nova this turn. But I think that's fine. I think I'm just going to go ahead and do this, and then I can Chemister's Insight. Perfect. And I hit the 9th land, so like next turn I can take the hit here, and my health total doesn't really matter because I'm gonna play Lich's Mastery at some point, which basically effectively resets my health total. So we'll Chemister's Insight here and draw some cards, and then next turn I will untap and then Tutor plus Cleansing Nova. It just didn't matter. I didn't need the untapped land, so it's just like irrelevant. That's what it comes down to. You're right. I could have played it untapped, but it just didn't matter. Goodbye, friends. It's fantastic. Don't worry. Tomorrow morning, everybody who wants the modern ban list to change will be disappointed in new and fantastic ways. Although I guess that's not really fair. They're not really new ways, right? They're just gonna be disappointed in the same way they're always disappointed. Oh, this is wrong. I should have shocked this in before I did that. That's a mistake. So I could have shocked this in and then played this. And then played Azcanta this turn too. So I'm 2 mana behind. What happens when Twin is unbanned? Reddit loses their mind. Everybody plays Splinter Twin for a week and a half on Moto. People realize it's just the same as everything else. And like the people who love it play it and the people who don't. If Stoneforge Mystic gets unbanned, will you play it at the Invitational? No, I'm playing Elves at the Invitational. Elves will likely be pretty good against the Stoneforge Mystic decks. Alright, so I have to exile 5. This interface was supposed to improved. So I'm supposed to be able to click here and not have this minimize. Nope, I was lied to in the release notes. The release notes were a lie. Alrighty. It actually explicitly said that interface was fixed. Punt Master Flex, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed here. I'm actually not sure on what the timeline is, if they would wait for the Invitational or not. I'm unsure on the timelines for those types of things. Yeah, I'm not playing an interactive deck. So I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. So I can Settle the Wreckage plus Vraska's Contempt. Maybe the installer gave you the old version by accident. No, the old version wouldn't be able to connect to the server, Jensen. It's a good attack by the opponent. Like enough to pressure me, but like not enough to get completely savaged by this. Yeah, I think Elves is a great deck. I think it's good for new players. I think it's good for experienced players that are just looking for something that's consistent. Exile your thing, draw 2 cards. Is that good? If so, why? Please explain. All right, so we're looking for a take extra turns card at this point. That one right there. Yeah, I think that archetype just has too much clunk in it to like have Court of Calling in it too. What's going on, full on tilt? What's going on, everybody? I got almost 800 people in here tonight. That's pretty awesome. Thanks for hanging out. My name is Jeff Hoagland. If you're new, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. We're hanging out playing some 5-color Lich here this evening. We're going to play a bunch of other standard decks as well. If you're new, I stream Magic here full-time. We play a ton of Constructed on this channel. We play Standard on Magic Arena. We play Modern on Magic Online. If you find yourself enjoying my stuff, please consider subscribing to my channel. My subscribers are the people that keep me employed here full-time. I wouldn't be here day in and day out without their very wonderful support. By subscribing, you can also support my stuff by checking out some of my very wonderful sponsors. Harry's Razors would love to help you get that nice, close, clean shave using code Jeff Hoagland at bit.ly/HoagleShave. You can save $5 on your brand new starter kit with them. Cardsphere.com will love to help you turn your cards into other cards direct to their players. There's no haggling, and they just take 1% fee off the top. InkedGaming.com will love to help you customize your gaming experience using code Jeff12. You can save 12% on custom playmats, mousepads, binders, and bags to them. You can upload your own custom artwork or choose from the wide range of art they have on their website, such as my wonderful Hoaglandia branded merchandise. And speaking of, I'd like to welcome you after to Hoaglandia. Thanks for stopping by our little slice of the internet. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch. Thanks for dropping by here this evening. If you are really enjoying my stuff and you want to see more of it after I'm done tonight, you can always check out my YouTube channel as well as my website. Basically, everything I stream gets archived to those 2 locations. I break everything up by deck, so you can watch just the stuff that you care about. So, for instance, if it's your first time seeing this 5-color Lich deck and you think it's awesome, and it's kind of sweet, taking infinite turns is a lot of fun. We've played this deck a number of times on stream in the past. You can find those organized very nicely on my website. Should WotC ban Glade Cover Scout? Nah, that's fine. That's all of Modern. All of Modern is people doing things that are Bogles adjacent. Yeah, if you're watching on YouTube in the future, remember to smash that like button, leave a comment below, and ring that bell if you want some notifications on when my videos go up, which is almost every day. Definitely going to keep this. Discovery will hopefully find us a white source and more lands in general. Oh. Well, welcome, Kryptonite. Hope you're having a good Sunday. Had a great weekend. Alright, so the Gift of Paradise is actually a good pickup. It means Discovery can just find any land, and then the Gift of Paradise will turn it into the colors that we need. Won $150 in store credit with your Gristle brand list, so paying some of it forward. Nice, Kit Kat. Congrats. That deck's a lot of fun. Doing busted things is great. Yeah, I'm really happy with how the website's turned out. Spent a lot of time working on it. It's turned out come together quite nicely. So I get to play this. I get to go ahead and play this Gift of Paradise out here. I think I want to go ahead and put it on Steam Vents. Usually you want to prioritize having lots of black sources because the Lich's Mastery is triple black. So I have the Cleansing Nova to break down any pressure, but I'll probably want to Vraska's Contempt the Midnight Reaper before I play the Cleansing Nova, because Midnight Reaper lets their creatures draw cards when they die. Goodbye, friend. So we effectively take nothing this combat, gain 2, take 2. Interested to see if this kills my Gift of Paradise or not. It does not.
My newest friend.
Man, how do we feel about... I think I'm just gonna conjecture and pick this this Contempt back up. It's like the Discovery's a sorcery in there, so I think that's fine.
No one said restoration was painless.
I'm like, they get to down tick there, but like, it's basically a 1-for-1, right? Like, their card drew a card, that drew a card, it killed my card that drew a card, so I think that's pretty reasonable for us regardless. Carnity. I think I just want to do this to start. Yeah, I've got the Revitalize to buffer my health total a little bit here. They also might extend more into this Cleansing Nova next turn. If they don't extend, that's like fine with us too. Means they're gonna untap Vraska. That's a tilt. It's a great card for them because it lets them obviously like continue adding pressure to their board, but doesn't really extend into the Nova any more than they already are. So I get to go ahead and do this. And then we have 4. We have 8 next turn. So next turn, I can actually Mastermind, get another Contempt their Vraska, and then we'll have Cleansing Nova the turn after that. We're at a pretty healthy 12 here. Casting the next Contempt is going to put us up to 14, so we'll be anywhere near dead on board. And then we'll have the Cleansing Nova to, like, clean things up here. Like I mentioned when we were starting this deck, the green-black matchup's usually pretty good for you. It's one of the appeals to playing this archetype. Maybe Rest is a little annoying. Not the end of the world, but a touch annoying. Gonna let them turn their lands into other potential resources. This one's got to go, though, because she is at her ultimate. Can you search your sideboard even in best of 1? I don't think so. How did I mistap? I guess my spells, it didn't matter, right? I knew I was using all 8 lands, so. Vraska has a little bit of self-loathing she has to deal with, chat. She's working through some things, okay? Vraska's emblem loses to Lich's Mastery, right? Pretty confident that's the case. Alright, so I've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This will be 10. So next turn I can Acquisition plus Mastery. That's really unfortunate.
An unfortunate casualty.
I have 8 cards in my bin, so I'm really looking to draw something that gains health here, so that way I can start snowballing advantage. So... Alright, yeah, let's do this. Let me go get Mastery. I'll be able to exile a bunch of cards from my discard pile. So I've got 9 cards in here, so I'll exile 7 next turn. And then I can Mastery, pick back up Cleansing, or Mastery, pick back up Revitalize, and I'll leave a Cleansing Nova in there for later. And then the Revitalize is actually going to draw me 8 cards. So hopefully those 8 cards include an extra turn card, and we'll get to combo from there. So we'll have to exile a bunch of cards here. So I'm leaving Revitalize and Cleansing Nova in here. Oh, I guess that's both my Mastermind's acquisitions. Okay, I actually can't exile both my Mastermind's acquisitions. That would be incredibly bad for me. Need those to win the game. Doing all right, Mikey. Life is swell. It didn't go good, G-Goat. By the end of it, I arrived at the conclusion that not being able to play the white enchantment removal just made the payoff just not worth it. There was also there was also the awkwardness where, like, there's a lot of good legendary threats in this format that it just doesn't hit, which makes things awkward. Alright, so I just get to Revitalize off of the draw to start then. So this draws 8. Looking to draw, take extra turn card. Gift of Paradise draws, oh, it doesn't draw 8. Why was I thinking it drew 8? I was thinking I had the copy going. I don't have the copy going. Ignore me. 8 is a lie. For anybody who was confused when I was saying it's going to draw 8, it doesn't. I'm an idiot. Alright, so let's Gift of Paradise. The Sun Petal Grove, draw 3. So we still got a bunch of looks here. Unfortunately, those are not them. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this and draw 3 more. Again, looking to draw or take extra turns card. None of those are take extra turns card, chat. So I think at this point, hey, Ed Dawson Philly, just spent 4 hours trying to get Skyrim to work on my terrible Intel laptop. Rough. Well, welcome back. Thanks for the support. I suppose I could play a land and just bounce their Carnage Tyrant here. That's probably fine, right? It's probably just like bounce the Carnage Tyrant to buy time. Just like take 4, have plenty of terrible cards to exile and stuff. Bye, Felicia. Wow, just the concession. It's the win con / combo. So eventually you can set up a loop that allows you to take infinite turns. And then the ultimate win con is Mastermind's acquisition for Banefire, while Mirari Conjecture has its 3rd chapter going to double Banefire them for lethal. We didn't guaranteed have it, but we had enough cards in our hand that they had enough. So the green-black matchup is so good for this archetype that the sideboard plan is click submit. So things like Star of Extinction seem reasonable, but you just Mastermind's acquisition for that when you need it. Another month, chat. I feel like it's been a while. I hope life is treating you well. Hope you're doing all right out there. Is the weather funky on the West Coast? We have a lot of blizzards going on here. Not quite on top of me, but north of me, Chicago's getting hammered. My parents came down to visit yesterday. I'm glad they planned to come down yesterday because they are stuck now. They got back home and they are not going anywhere for a while. The green-black matchup's the dream match. If you could play against green-black every match, this deck would be wonderful. There's a flaming Quake-nado. That's... I heard someone said, I heard that they're, like, predicting tornado watches down in St. Louis, just like the actual end of times. Just like tornadoes, blizzards, parts of the country is on fire, just like, good lord. Can you tell me the matchups where you use Thief of Sanity? Yeah, so basically, all the threats that are in the sideboard come in against the control matchups, because you can't have Lich's Mastery against decks that have Dispersal or Cleansing Nova, because they just kill your Lich's Mastery and kill you. So you need to have alternative ways to win the game when you can't combo them. Standard's better than modern. There's blizzards, tornadoes, and fires. The end of the world is upon us. It's truly the end of the world. I swept 3 straight standard showdowns with the Pirates deck. That's awesome. I'm excited to play Pirates at the Invitational. I've been enjoying the deck still. It's only the end times if they ban Ancient Stirrings and Brainstorm tomorrow. That's fair. It's still just, if the ban list update tomorrow is no changes in all formats, it's business as usual. Do we think I should have my graphics guy do up? I'm gonna have my graphics guy waiting on call so we can get a Splinter Twin behind bars in case they unban Stoneforge Mystic. I don't think they're actually going to do it, but in the event that they unban Stoneforge Mystic, wow. I think our opponent, I think that was a concede walk away from the computer concession. They must not have realized they were playing best of 3. They threw their computer out the window. Pop goes the card picture. If looting gets banned, how do we floop the pig? I don't know. Tormenting voices and insolent neonates? Well, we'll survive, chat. We'll survive. We'll persevere. I'm currently standing. I have a standing desk that goes up and down, so I split my time while I stream sitting and standing. Do about half and half. Holy flab, quick question, is the deck queue still slowed? It is. It is. So the deck queues will unslow at different times for the different formats. So my plan is to, when we get down to 20 standard decks in the queue, I will probably unslow that. And when we get down to 20 modern decks in the queue, I will unslow the modern portion. Although I also need to figure out, so doing standard donation decks is new to me. I probably need to stop taking standard donation decks in general sometime soon because I don't want the standard donation queue to be super full when the new set releases, right? Like when the new set drops, I want new donation decks to come in so we can play with the new cards, right? In Modern, it's less of a big deal because in Modern, new sets have a smaller impact on the format, but in Standard, especially getting 5 more shock lands, a lot of things are going to change. So I need to look back historically. What's going on, Sean? Thanks for the raid. We're playing some Standard here today. I'm pretty sure Sean was playing some Modern earlier. I was watching him play some Elves for a bit. So when I need to look back and see about how many standard decks I play per week and then have it line up so like when the new set releases on here, I only have a handful of decks in the queue. Yep, $30 donation gets you in while the queue is still slowed, and it still goes in with 30 points for the $30 donation. Alternatively, if you want to upgrade your sub to a tier 3 sub, tier 3 subs get to submit a deck with 30 points every month. Alright, so we haven't found a green source yet, but we've got a little discovery going on here. The last deck ended up being a little bit rough, Danon. Perfect. Not in the market for an island, I don't think. In the market for an Overgrown Tomb, though. My take on people streaming that I dislike is, if you also dislike them, don't watch their stream. You vote with your views, you vote with your wallet. No. Watching someone's content is supporting their content. So, if you don't want to support someone, don't watch their content. Of course you can have a timeout. Timeouts are always free here in Hoaglandia. The enemy of control decks, the Adanto. The double settle is pretty good here. So we're going to go to 14. Are we dead to heroic reinforcements? I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They have 8 coming in next turn. So heroic reinforcements is +8. So we are dead to land reinforcements next turn. I too wish to pay for my timeout. What's going on, Rad? Thanks for the support. All right, perfect. Didn't step one, didn't die. So now, unfortunately, we're at a low enough health total that they can afford to attack around the Settle the Wreckage, but fortunately for us on the flip side of that too is I have 2 Settle the Wreckages. What's going on, Regulus? Welcome to a live one. Hope you had a great weekend. Thanks everybody for stopping in tonight. It's awesome. We've only been live for a little over an hour. We've already got 1,100 people in here. Thanks for dropping into our little slice of the internet here in Hoaglandia. Come sail away. Come sail away, come sail away with me. Do 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 do. This deck is such a tilting Settle the Wreckage deck because you're playing 4 copies of Revitalize too. So you don't just force people to play around Settle the Wreckage, but you force them to play around Settle plus Revitalize. So like if they attack with too few, you fog them with Revitalize, but if they attack with too many, you punch them in the face with Settle the Wreckage. So as a heads up, Talion, Twitch Prime subs don't actually add anything to the queue directly. You can find all the details on how my deck queue works here on my website. Yeah, speaking of Revitalize, speak of the devil and it will appear. What do I do here? Did I just like settle these 2 tokens? What's going on, Mikey? I aim to please. So the awkward part here is this is my only white source. So if I revitalize and hit a white source, I still can't settle because this takes double white. I think I'm just passing. I'm just gonna go ahead and settle their 2 attackers this turn. I'm just gonna go ahead and settle their attackers here. Yeah, if I revitalize and hit a white land, I could chance for glory. Is a real consideration. Yeah, and I would have done that. I would have hit. Well, I guess I couldn't do both, right? So next turn they're attacking me for 5. You can find all of my deck lists on my website. The deck lists that we've played a good deal and I really like have their own dedicated standard page. Alternatively, every deck that I played gets archived to my YouTube channel, which you can find in my videos archive page. So we're going to make 2 white here. And then, all right, let's put on full control mode to make sure this spends my mana, right? So I'm going to go ahead and do this like this. Then I'm going to go ahead and chance for glory here. I don't think we're dead, right? They're hitting me for, they do not, do they have Ascend? They have Ascend, don't they? Yeah, I'm actually exactly dead here. Wow, that's unfortunate. So, ended up getting super punished for the sequencing that happened there. What's going on, Nami Nami? Thank you for the 2 months. Welcome back. The Insight and the Divination are a little bit clunky. I'm going to go ahead and board in a couple of Knights as a way to gain health, as well as block and destroy. Is that better than Lyra? No, I'm just going to board in 2 Lyra. Let's board in 2 Lyra. They ascended with the lands they got from the settles, yep. Does have a drawback, right? Not free. Lyra is pretty good, right? Like, the chances that they can take a Lyra off the table post-board are pretty low. If you want to read specifics about the card choice in this deck, Ali Andrazi, very good Magic player, designed this list. He has a ton of stuff up on Cool Stuff Inc., which is the same website that I write for as well. You can find lots of his thoughts on various things surrounding this deck list there. So I don't get to Revitalize this turn with this sequencing, but I think that's fine. Hitting Control and Shift at the same time toggles full control on and leaves it on like that until you press the cancel button, which is convenient. New player here. Do you always choose to go first? Deck specific? What's the thought process? In Magic the Gathering, you should basically always choose to go first. There's some limited formats that are really slow where the card advantage matters more than the tempo, but I've never played a constructed format in my lifetime where the norm was to go second. There were some people that had like debatable logic about choosing to draw in like Jundmir's at one point in time, but like aside from like very specific like niche meme decks, like you pretty much always want to go first. I feel like the player on the draw should start with a treasure token in play. Found the Hearthstone player. Oh, they're exiling? I was like, what are they exiling? I was like, oh, I have a Gift of Paradise, sure. Wow, way to Stone Rain me, opponent. That's rude. I have plenty of lands here at least though, so let's just cycle through these. Where does it let you choose? I've never seen that. So in the best of 3 queue, it now offers you the, with the latest update, the best of 3 queue now gives you the option to go second. What could be a Mirari replacement for this deck? Mirari is the card that makes this deck function. It's an uncommon. You should find copies of it. Is Mirari a rare? There's not a replacement for it. This deck is not budget friendly. If you don't have all of the wild cards, don't play this deck. It's rare and you should still find copies of it. Concur. My Settle might have been a little bit too aggressive there. So we're hoping they play around Settle again here. They are. And Nova would be sweet. It'd leave them two Adantos, but that's still fine, right? This History of Benalia is about to pop off. Like, goodbye, friends. Pew pew! And like, there's still two Adantos in play, but it's like all they have. And I've got 5 cards in there, so like I'm gonna get to play Lich's Mastery next turn, then we're just hoping to like draw a card that gains some health from this point. It's a Mastermind's acquisition. I just do this, right? I'm gonna take 8 next turn. There's 6 cards in my bin. I could just Mastermind for Settle. Is Mastermind for Settle unreasonable? Yeah, I'm gonna go get Settle. Yeah, I mean, this screams Settle the Wreckage, right? Oh, actually, you know what? I'm not done on board. Do I just get Chance for Glory? Chat, no gamble, no future, chat. No gamble, no future. Suck it up. And they might think I'm getting Settle, which means they don't attack with everything here. Just like there's levels here, right? So like the best card to get is Settle the Wreckage. So like, did I get the best card or did I get this? This is the part where Ashton Kutcher pops out, right? Do kids today even know who that is? They probably don't, right? It's got layers. That's a good draw. Oh, it's so good. Why is it so good, chat? Oh, being lucky is so much better than being good. "14-year-old confirmed he has no idea who that is. God bless. Never didn't have it. It's just like we drew it up, chat. Never forget. No gamble, no future." So I put this into play tapped. I cast this. I go get this. I take another turn. How many lands do I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 lands. I have 11 lands. So I get to Mastermind's acquisition. Search my deck for 2 cards. Oh, I'm one land short here, right? I'm 1 land short. I can't conjecture plus play an extra turn because I only have 7 mana. I don't have 8. Awkward. Get Contempt. Oh, yeah, Contempt's a good suggestion. I left black up, right? Yeah, Contempt's a good suggestion. Because Contempt is going to exile 2 other things and draw 4 cards. I'll get Cleansing Nova as a backup. So this should pretty much lock it up. So I get to do this and get rid of both the Vanguards. Vladimos, thank you very much for the brand new tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Yeah, the turn they took me off the mana source was very, very good. When your removal spells draw 2 cards. That's where the real goodness is, chat. That's where the real goodness is. Take your 1 piddly turn. It's depressing, but you get it. Alright, get to flip Azcanta over. Extra Lich's Mastery doesn't do anything. Blow their friends away here. The Mirari Conjecture. It doesn't really matter. All roads lead to Rome, chat. We're just playing with our food at this point. Our food hasn't given up, so we get to mix it around our plate. We're gonna push the peas in with the mashed potatoes, okay? Just really enjoy what we have going on here. Can you kill them, or do you just build them over time? You can, you eventually cast Mastermind's Acquisition and fetch Banefire from the sideboard and kill them. So you do eventually actually win the game. People on Arena usually value their time, though, and concede long before you get there. Thanks everyone for hanging out tonight. Awesome, we're up to over 1,200 people. Good Sunday night stream. I have to do some more in this time slot. It's a good count, especially for how short we've been live. Haven't been up for 2 hours yet. We got a lot of sweet decks coming up. We're gonna play I don't know, another match or two after this with this 5-color Lich deck, and we've got Jeskai Control and Bant Defenders coming up after this one. HY Rule Tech, thank you for the brand new Prime support. Thanks for shipping your Bezo bucks this way this month. I appreciate it. I think this is a keep. We have the classic Watery Grave Sun Petal Grove as land 1, land 2, but like Revitalize, Settle, Nova, Gift of Paradise, just like all pretty fantastic. Keenor, thank you for the brand new Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch. Thanks for supporting my stuff here. Yeah, today's gonna be all Arena. I'm not gonna be on super late because I do my normal Monday morning stream, but my donation queue has, you know, like 60 or 70 decks in it at the moment, so I wanted to fire up and work my way through some of them. Yeah, not having to shuffle is a real quality of life, EV. Yeah, Bant Defenders is a deck we've played on stream before, and I was really impressed with it last time we played it. So I'm excited to see if it continues to be impressive, or if it was just like a flash in the pan and we got lucky. That is the land I wanted for Christmas, so hopefully we don't die next turn. And then we can Cleansing Nova or Settle. I like big butts, and now I got me a training sword for which to strike with them. What's going on, Azumail? Thank you for the 6-month resub. I appreciate that. Am I dead? Am I dead? This is, that's exactly lethal. Woof. Woof. Remember that time our mana base killed us? If we didn't have to shock in that Watery Grave, we might have had a shot there. I'm pretty confident I messed up the first game in that match, though. So one of the things I always, as someone who's traveled to play a ton of Magic, anybody who's played enough paper Magic, you all know the bad beat stories, right? Like, the only people that like a bad beat story more than a Magic player is a poker player. And people you always hear your friends come, they're like, oh, I got so unlucky in my third game. They drew Xaxes for lethal, and it's always like, well, what happened in those other games, right? So I think game one, that last match, I missequenced, and I could have won that first game. You don't like fetch lands because they make the format clunky. In a format without those lands, which lands would you have be in the format? Would fetch plus buddy lands plus fast lands be what you're looking for? No fetch lands. Stop it. No shuffling. Every day I prefer to not be shuffling. So this island makes this come into play untapped. So my turn 1 land is going to be one of these 3, depending on what we draw to start. Probably Isolated Chapel because it makes white and black. So we'll go Chapel into Island, Search into Sulfur maybe, or a tap land depending on what we need to do. Uh-oh, Jeskai Control. The control matchup's hard for this deck in my experience. So far we haven't been sideboarding a ton. The control matchup, we board in almost every card in our sideboard. All bad beats outweigh any misplays from the entire day. Is this the mirror? It is not. I would be very surprised if it was a mirror. There have been a couple of Jeskai lists that have been popularized that actually play Revitalize in their main, as both just an extra cantrip and a way to buffer their health total against red aggressive decks. I could theoretically be a mirror, but I'm assuming they're Jeskai Control. Shock, Buddy, Fast. Shock, Buddy, Fast, and Creature lands would probably be an ideal mix of lands in a format that I would consider ideal. I'm actually just going to leave that on top. I think I want to cast both halves of that one. Put this into play untapped so we can draw 2 this turn. Modern, the Bogling, what's going on, Lumbering Falls? It was just, yeah, that's just a quality piece of content, let's all be honest here. Scrylands are good duels. I just think, you know, so they have 8 cards in their hands here. It's possible I'm not supposed to cast this. Well, I guess burning a counterspell, and that's probably pretty bad for them. No, I don't think I'd leave out any other lands. I'm not sure there's a compelling reason to leave out other lands. It's just the fetch lands that are kind of offensive. Oh, you know what? I should have played Sun Petal Grove there, because I didn't mind if that land came into play tapped. Oh, this comes into play untapped too. Yeah, it totally does. Yeah, you're super right. It's coming into play untapped anyways. Double mastery, says you. I actually don't have another black source though, right? Well, the Horizon Canopy should be a basic forest. The Horizon Canopy is there for drawing a card, not to make white mana. I guess I'm digging for Gift of Paradise here. I guess Isolated Chapel's fine too. Am I just bidding a Revitalize here? Yeah, I think so. Like I want an extra Lich's Master so I can play through discard or play through counter magic here. Yeah, if you look, I have a full Black-Green Elves primer up on coolstuffinc.com that includes a budget list in it. So you can find a bunch of good stuff there. So, do I just start hammering Azcanta? Like, they almost certainly have counter spells here, right? Oh, you know what? We start with this. We totally just start with Mastermind's acquisition, right? Because if they let this resolve, I just go get Carnage Tyrant. That's what I should have done. I probably should have stuck this in earlier. Oh, we can't just jam it because of Cleansing Nova. Also true. They can copy Mastermind? Sure. Why do I care about that, though? So, a lot of these Jeskai decks only have, like, 6 counterspells in their main deck. Like, 6 to 7, depending on how greedy they are and how much they want to hedge aggro versus control. So, there's a very real possibility, like, this flip Search for Azcanta just, like, grinds our opponent out of counterspells. Just, like, slamming must counter after must counter after much counter. Now, there's no reason to, like, pray that the Lich resolves. I'm going to activate Azcanta and, like, try and work my way towards a Carnage Tyrant. Well, if they don't play an untapped land here, we're gonna... They could have a Negate or a Disdainful Stroke in their main, so I don't think I'm gonna Chance for Glory. Because if I Chance for Glory and then they counter the Lich, I lose. sure my lands get tapped here. So I'm gonna go ahead and conjecture. Yeah! Played around the main deck Disdainful Stroke. Got him. Look at that. Look at that soul read, chat. Just the... Look at that. Look at that. Just they smelled like someone that had a main deck Disdainful Stroke, chat. You gotta sniff them out. You gotta sniff them out. Chance for... No, stop it. There's no reason. You're not in a rush, chat. We're just going to keep activating Azcanta. And eventually they will die. It's just chat wants to lose really badly for no reason. They're very impatient and just want a combo. This is a combo control deck. The control part is very important. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna contempt this first. They could have a syncopate, right? Checking out their options. I think we open contempt here. All right, now jam acquisition. Looking for a Carney T. Have another main deck stroke. Expansion. Okay. Okay. Turnabout's fair game, I suppose. Magic Avocado. Thank you for the 2-month resubscription there. I appreciate that. Welcome back. There's my big dumb dino. I knew he was there somewhere. Big dumb dino keeps me warm at night, chat. We cuddle. He's very scaly. Niv visit. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, $100 will let you craft most things on Arena. It won't let you craft this deck, because this deck is like an abomination that's a pile of mythics and rares, but most reasonable decks will craft for $100 or less. Alright, and back to the Azcanta waiting game. I guess I'm gonna slam Carney T next turn, but like, we're definitely like hanging out on the Azcanta plan for now. Oh, Teferi.
I'm known for my excellent timing.
I'm known for my excellent timing. You mean taking forever, Teferi? That's what you're known for? Rude. Oh. Huh. Do I play around another negate or disdainful stroke here? So they're gonna get to untap with Teferi. Alright, I'm heading to the Space Jam. I'm gonna head to the Space Jam. I know where chat's vote is, okay? I don't have to ask you all. Chat's here for the Space Jam, okay? I understand where your head's at. We only want one thing, and it's disgusting. Oh, yeah. Actually, I should tap these manually. All right. You ready to do the time warp, chat? You ready for the time warp, Baruti? All right, this draws 3. Revitalize draws 4. Someone call the police. There's been a robbery. Somebody call the police. There's been a robbery. Robbery in progress. Over. Dies to Nova next turn. Why would I give my opponent... Why is my opponent getting a next turn? I don't understand. That seems like a punt. Why would I give them a next turn, chat? That just seems loose. Wait, what happened? What just happened? What?
Hold that thought.
No, I didn't cast Chance on my turn, right? I cast Lich's Mastery for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I cast... Did I cast it on my turn? No, I played a tap land. I cast Lich for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I cast Gift of Paradise on here. And I cast it on their end step, right? Yeah, I cast it after the Teferi trigger. Yeah. Well, that's really disappointing. and then Arena crashed. And then Arena cached. If you cancel mana, it bugs Chance for Glory's extra turn. Sorry, you have to look at my ugly face here. I'm reloading. There was a robbery. Call the cops, but the cops are. I was robbed, chat. We even made the they're not getting an extra turn reference, and then they like untapped, and I was like, what is going on? I'm just gonna. No, I don't want to exit game. I'm gonna concede though. Why do I concede? Where's the concede button? Isn't there a concede button somewhere? I thought wasn't the concede button in that menu? Am I crazy? Or was there a concede button in this menu? Maybe it's because it crashed. Maybe it doesn't have a concede button because I've crashed and reloaded. Or maybe I'm blind and it was there. I'm honestly like kinda sideways at the moment. Can I concede now? Thank you. No, you can definitely concede from the sideboarding menu. And I didn't have enough time to sideboard and explain how we were sideboarding. I'm a little upset that we were gonna win game 1 and then couldn't. So let's just get back in. For the love of God, can people stop tagging me, telling me to unfollow Todd Stevens? Did you know it's possible to see who's following which people? And I unfollowed that asshole a long time ago. I unfollowed him. If like 6 people tagged me on Twitter today saying to unfollow that idiot, and just like... All right, easy mulligan here. Who is Todd? If you don't know, don't worry about it. If you don't know, don't worry about it. I shouldn't have even said his name. I just had like, I'm annoyed from the bug, and then had another person tag me on Twitter. And then, yeah, just Google it. Google it's a good answer. Google it is a great answer. Google it. I'm gonna start timing people out aggressively in chat. Anybody bringing it up, especially people that know what it is and are bringing it up, you're gonna get timed out. I could shuffle my deck, Spice Chai. We could draw lots of cards. I think this matchup's basically unwinnable for this deck. Tempo decks just devour these pseudo combo decks. I need lands, so let's get rid of these. You should unfollow that guy. I'll take my time out. What's going on, Rad? The bug is known by Watson, is called by an undo. Okay, it's good to know. I mean, on the off chance they have a draw with no counter spells, we could be okay here. I mean, I don't think Moment of Craving helps why this matchup is bad. Like, their counter spells are why they kill you. You can permanently ban that person. You could permanently ban that person. Just get out of my chat. If you're someone that uses words like SJW, snowflake, cuck, and other things like that unironically, you can leave, because any of that gets used in my chat, you're gonna get permanently removed by one of the moderators or myself. You won't be missed. Good chance you use those words. You're not giving me money anyway, so I don't care. Even if you did give me money, you'd still be removed, let's be honest. We have standards here. We're pretty dead here. Let's try the push board plan. Yes, that is exactly correct, Delta. That is the majority of the way that phraseology is used today. All right, so we cut a bunch of our slow, clunky stuff. I think do we just cut the combo here? We probably just cut the combo because it's not good enough. Like, slow, clunky stuff includes the combo kill. That seems pretty reasonable. Honestly, Banefire is just like a bad shock is probably fine. Oh, I should have checked to see if the Katid's there. I'll do it next time. Why do you concede so early? I've lost. So, when you gain experience as a Magic player, you can more readily identify. I concede some games too early sometimes, and we talk about that. But that game was not one of them. I could have stacked both players' hands at that point and just lost to what my opponent had on the board. Remember, this isn't a Magic tournament. I don't have to wait 60 minutes for my next match to pair. As soon as my game ends, I get to play the next one. So there's really no reason to like continue playing a game where I'm incredibly unlikely to win, or it's virtually locked up, because I could just get to the next one right away. All right, so what are we doing here? Gift of Paradise. Usually you want to prioritize having 3 black, so I'm gonna go ahead and slide this out into Sacred Foundry here to start. Happy 4 months. You look aerodynamic without the beard. Hopefully it comes back. Thank you, Zazie, for the 4 months of support. Welcome back. Big Beanie Cap, thank you for the tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Like this here. If this Vraska's Contempt doesn't resolve, we can be done here. So, survey says. All right, we're done here. It's going on, Kraken. It's a good video, to be fair. Have you played Sark and Grixis Dragons? Yeah, we played it a whole bunch. You can find videos of it on my website. And if you want my thoughts on the deck list, I'd encourage you, even if you don't have time to watch the entire video, there's a wrap-up segment that's linked in the video description towards the end where I talk about what I liked about the deck, what I didn't like about the deck, and things I would possibly change in the future. Yes, I agree, Delta. Most of the time it's used as an insult in a derogatory manner. We're on the play. This hand has a sweeper and a removal spell in it, so I think I'm gonna keep. If you're someone who hates, wow, I punted. Is that the only card in my deck that punishes me for sequencing my lands wrong? I think it is. Ollie streams like 2 to 3 times a week these days. Maybe even more than that. You can find him at twitch.tv/Ollie Eldrazi. Ollie Eldrazi, I believe. If you look up his Twitter, you'll find him. Yes, I agree, Gorgia. When people aren't just looking to sling insults, they use specifics. Yeah, he just hit Twitch partner recently, actually. He's streaming 8 days a week now after sub rewards. Good. I'm glad he's finding some success. I think I'm just passing here. Do I want to master my deck? I guess I'm not. I don't really want to cast either of these cards. What do I want to even acquisition for, though? We played Rakdos Burn. You can find it on my YouTube channel. It was not interesting enough or good enough to add to my website. You can find my full thoughts in the wrap-up segment on that video. Remember, the decks that go on the standard deck list on my website isn't everything that I play. It's just the decks that I play that I think are sweet and deserve to be there. It's not supposed to be like, that page isn't like a full meta breakdown or whatever you want to call it. Gabriel gets it. Add Beamkin to your website. You know, I actually should, Marty. I should write that. I almost did. We've played it enough times that I should at this point. Doesn't feel like 5 months. My, how the memes make time fly. Thank you for the 5-month resub to Struminator. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Is the full video from that? That is the full video. I stopped streaming. That was the whole video. I turned my webcam off and turned my stream off and went and did something else. Literally clicked the stream off. I was done. Needed a break. That was sometimes Magic Online sends you the message you're supposed to be done streaming for the evening. Do I just take this hit here? I think I just take this hit here and hold the Revitalize. Branch Walker's great for us. Just like more creature threats means I get to Settle the Wreckage them. Got 5 cards in there. The upside to Revitalizing is I could flip the Azcanta, but at the same side, if I flip the Azcanta, I can't settle next turn. So, like, if I use the Azcanta next turn, I can't settle, so it doesn't really matter. And actually, I'm just going to go ahead and top that because I would like a third black source for my Lich's Mastery when we find it eventually. Morning, Christine. Morning. That much puts you in Australia, right? There are very few things that are objectively wrong. You know, I've been a really good boy and haven't gotten on my pulpit tonight, but there are some things that are objectively wrong. Do you know what's objectively wrong? Shooting tear gas at children. If you don't know what I'm referencing to, you should educate yourself and care about politics in the United States because it's important. Carnage Tyrant, that's rude. I guess I have another Settle the Wreckage, so it doesn't really matter. I think I'm gonna Revitalize here so I can flip the Azcanta because now it'll be my 8th land, which means I can activate it plus. Ooh, that's actually pretty good, right? That's just like full tempo for the Carnage Tyrant. So I have. Oh, I'm actually a blue sorcerer. I was gonna say I have enough lands to cast Dispersal plus activate Azcanta, but I actually don't have enough blue sources to do that, right? What's going on? Are you critting me? Welcome. Glad you got through the follow timer. That has to be up there to cut down spam from people that like chat bots and stuff like that mostly. I think I just passed here, right? The plan is activate Azcanta plus wreck this Carnage Tyrant. I do not, however, want to tap my Azcanta to wreck this Carnage Tyrant. I would like to wreck this Carnage Tyrant while leaving my Azcanta where it is. Was it correct for the opponent's attack with all 3 creatures a few turns ago? Probably. I don't know. Like, what's correct and what's not is, like, tough to measure, right? Like, it's easy to, like, sit on this side of the board and, like, know we have a bunch of Settle the Wreckage and say, oh, they shouldn't attack there. Can we bump the humans deck in Modern? Definitely. Don't read Twitter if you don't want to see people justifying shooting tear gas at children. I'm really hoping against hope that most of those people are Russian bots, but my faith in humanity is kind of at an all-time low, so. Really hoping that they're mostly bots, but there's a chance that they're not. Unfortunately, we're not pressuring the opponent's health total here, so while we're keeping the Doom Whisperer from killing us with this Vraska's Contempt, we are not going to be able to prevent them from, like, drawing their ideal card here. I think there's a good chance that some of them are real people, Harris. Things you are never allowed to joke about on my channel. Violence towards others, especially women and children. No one in general, but let's just, like, not joke about it, shall we? Shall we? Shall we? Let's just not. Man, our blue sources are just incredibly awkward here. I think I'm discovering, like, looking for a blue source, kind of. I'm looking for, like, blue source and, like, eventually Lich's Mastery, right? Wow, that's awkward. So, I can Contempt plus still activate Azcanta here, which is nice. I did start it. All right, that's enough. Just, as always, just a friendly reminder where I stand on the issues is be decent to your fellow human beings, and then let's move along. Is 5-color Lich or Bant Walls better? That's like asking, is like a Reese's peanut butter cup or a slice of cheesecake better? They're both wonderful in different ways. Think we'll ever get yields at MTG? I really hope so. Being able to auto yield to this Doom Whisperer trigger would be great. What do you sideboard out for Goryo's Vengeance versus Control? There's actually a link to a sideboard guide on my what's it called? On my website. You're killing my Azcanta. That's rude. It's only drawn me like 6 cards. How am I supposed to win without all these other cards? Yeah, they cast down their own thing to avoid us getting 2 health. I mean, their cast down's not doing anything else. We're getting close to bait firing them without the combo. That's true, actually. We have 1, 2, 10. We're actually only 1 land off of doing that. Oh, they tapped their lands wrong. They can't recast Doom Whisperer here. Awkward. Oh, they killed it so they could put it in their graveyard so they could find it. Yeah, okay. That makes a lot of sense. So it wasn't just to deny me health, it was so it could be in their discard pile. I like it. Like Contempt? I think I'll take Contempt. There's also a sideboard guide for elves on my website. So the decks that I played a lot of tend to have articles written on Close to Think that have sideboard plans written. Come at me. I don't have anything particularly useful in their bin here. Did I bin a Cleansing Nova earlier? No, I bottomed that. Tilt. So if they don't play the Doom Whisperer here, I'm just going to go ahead and Revitalize at least once. I'd really like to draw my Lich's Mastery. That's unfortunate. I'm just going to do this again. I'm going to do this again. Oh, we did shuffle because of Trophy. That's true. So I get to pick up... Oh, I get to Mastermind's Acquisition this turn. That's easy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Listen, chat, the only point of health, your health total is not a scoreboard. The only point of life that matters is the last one. So I could shock this in Discovery, but next turn the Mirari Conjecture could potentially be doubling my spells, and shocking myself to 5 puts me on a 1-turn clock from the Doom Whisperer. Although I guess Vraska's Contempt kind of muddles that a little bit. We're probably going to see her down tick and kill this Conjecture here, but that's fine because I have 2 Contempts in my hand, right? So I'm just going to go like Contempt. Okay, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 4, 5, You know, I could actually Dispersal to get rid of one of these. And then keep my Contempt for their next threat. I have 4 black sources. I have Catacomb, Dragonskull, Chapel. It's real tiny on here. Gosh, I can't wait to play this one on my phone, chat. Can you? Are you excited to play this on your cell phone? Oh, I should Contempt the Whisperer because they have Memorial. Yeah, I don't think that matters. Are they making this for the cell phone? People keep wanting them to make it for the cell phone. I don't understand why. We found the card our deck is named after. Don't you people have phones? All right, so I'm gonna make black, this. Exile this, draw 2 cards. Maybe I'm supposed to just Chance for Glory. The next Magic expansion is phone only, yep. You see esports and Arena's future. I really hope that so Wizards of the Coast has announced that they're going to have an organized, they announced their announcement. So the Wizards is going to be having an organized play announcement on December 6th. And I'm really hoping that it has to do with Magic Arena. If they're smart, it's going to have to do with Magic Arena, I think. Get to draw 2 cards here because Lich's Mastery is great. I'd like to take an extra turn. We have a chance for glory, chat. We must seize it. Seize the glory. Opponent, is that enough? December 6th is the announcement. That's something, if you're new to Magic and you've just come in through Arena, that's something WotC does a lot. They announce their announcements. You gotta build hype, chat. You gotta build hype. So like the president or CEO of Wizards or some bigwig at Hasbro said that Magic would be entering esports in a big way. So I hope that's true. I hope that's true. So we actually were recording at Jackal Girl and they were completely uninterested. They were just like, it's dad. Just like no reaction whatsoever. So I didn't bother posting it. Yeah, seems fine. Oh yeah, Declan didn't care for the smell of my aftershave, so he was like, Dad, go wash your face, it's smelly. 3-year-olds. Deal. It should have been an esports like 7 years ago. So while I agree with your sentiment, when you are training a dog to do something good, you don't keep bringing up all the times that dog peed on the floor in the past when it finally stops peeing on the floor. So I agree that it would have been nice if Arena existed a decade ago, but it didn't. But it exists now, and it's pretty decent at what it's doing. Like this is a good piece of Magic software. So like, there's no need to like keep bringing up we should have had this then. It's like, well, we have it now, and let's just be happy we have it now because it's great, right? This is the Magic software I've wanted since I started playing Magic on the computer. It's very good. And like, if you've ever read my Twitter account, You know that I don't give Wizards of the Coast compliments for free, right? Like, I point out everything that they do that I think is stupid. This application is well done. Hey, Prometheus, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Well, Duels was never intended to be full Magic. You could never even play Standard on Duels. Where's the sponsor? Just giving out the praise. I've not been paid for that opinion. That's just my opinion after playing a lot of Magic Arena. Chat, I played a match of Magic Arena this afternoon while I was off stream. I wasn't streaming and I played a match of Magic. Like, in the last 12 months before I started playing Arena, I think I could count on one hand the number of times I'd played Magic off stream. And like, since I started playing Arena, I play Magic off stream probably a half a dozen or more times a week, almost every day. Just like, fire up a quick match here and there. Yeah, I'm just gonna jam this. Blink twice if Arena has you trapped. What deck do I play the most off stream? Blue-Black Pirates. It's the deck I'm playing at the Invitational for the standard portion. Oh no! So, my sequencing here actually got incredibly punished by a duress because I could have chanced on their turn since I had 2 Liches, then untapped and liched. I think I'm actually better off getting a draw 4 here. Hey, what's going on, Odium Voidbringer? Thank you very much for the Twitch Prime support. I appreciate that. Yeah, I just assumed I was going to get to untap and take an extra turn here. So it's arguable that I played my Mastery too early. Definitely could be argued that I played it too early. Maybe I'm supposed to actually hold this, but I guess they have plenty of cards, so I'm like not getting rid of this. So I have 9 cards in my bin right now. Getting to bin 2 cards with Discovery is like gaining 3 health, which is sweet. This Gateway Plaza doesn't matter. This extra Lich's Master in my hand doesn't matter. So I'm gonna exile these 2 and then 5 cards from here. How much to come play Standard in Dallas in February? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I was thinking about maybe doing that, but I don't know. Paper Magic and me just don't get along. We'll see. Maybe if I do any tournaments next year, Dallas is definitely going to be one of them. Because it's going to be a Standard tournament, and Standard's really sweet. Am I set on a Pirates list? I have an approximate Pirates list that I'm playing, but I don't have an exact 75 at the moment. All right, so I'm just dispersaling this, I think. Am I? Or is it better to just dig? No, I'm a liar. I'm just gonna dig here. So like, this puts like 3 more cards in my bin, and it could like find an extra turn. There's a lot of ways to do that. What if all tournaments were migrated to Arena? If tournaments were migrated to Arena, I would play competitive Magic again. God, I play so much competitive Magic, it'd be unreal. Hey, look at that, a draw 4. Hey, look at that, an extra turn. Things worked out better than expected. My friend. Is at the Game Awards, an event stylized. It's the Oscars for video games. If it's not about Arena, I'll donate $50. That's awesome. It's good to know. All right, so 5-color Lick. If you really like this deck, I think it's got plenty of matches it could win. If your local game store, wherever you're playing, you expect to see a lot of green-black. I think this deck dunks on green-black very consistently, and it's great in that matchup. When Ali won the Classic that he won, it was early in the format when Green Black was the deck to beat, and I would be very surprised if he didn't dumpster his way through that tournament just beating up Green Black players. This deck is an impossible time against tempo decks like Mono Blue and Pirates. Those two decks aren't super popular though. It does have a pretty hard-ish time against control decks like Jeskai and the Crackling Drake decks though. So those are decks that see some play with some consistency that you're going to have a tough time with. If you want to see more of this deck list, you can find 3 or 4 other video sets of us playing it on my website, jeffhoagland.com. Click standard decks at the top. It's one of the ones that has its own page up there. We're going to be moving right along. Speaking of Jeskai control,